over the years, how many times that Kim and I both have counseled people on dumbass moves like this. Your biggest losses, Kim, you tell me if this is a true statement. Your biggest losses, Richard, tell me if this is the truth. Your biggest losses, Kim from Ohio, tell me if this is true. Your biggest losses are usually self-inflicted. So tonight's topic is going to be how to recognize trend reversal. How to recognize trend reversals. What would be something that might signal a trend reversal?
Exhaustion on the candle.
Exhaustion. Okay. What else?
Doji.
Just one, Mom? Yeah. Because those two dojis equal what? Stop sign.
Okay.
But Kim, let's think about this for a minute. Here is price coming up here. Now we have to talk about a combination of things that may reduce or may insinuate a trend reversal. And Kim, look at this. Here it is. Here's the two dojis together. And then I have a flat top candle and taking price all the way down to here. Beautiful thing, right? It's beautiful when you can recognize it. But in a doji, and I like her thinking because she's probably thinking, well, if I see an doji, that means money's being taken out. Now, if I just see one doji, Kim, I have to wait for this dude next, right? I have to wait. I see an doji here. I have to wait for this dude because what could be happening is in this next period, I could have a real fist fight, kung fu fighting Saturday morning kung fu movie that we all used to watch back in the day, and buyers could win that fight and price could continue. However, when I see these two things, I have to consider that, hey, I may be having a trend reversal. But Kim, if I see this, let's say I'm in the middle of the trading session or this period. I'm in the middle of this period and price has arrived at structure and this second candle comes and I see a second doji. Then the first thing you're thinking, right? This upward trend is over, but you done so well. You got in here, saw that flat bottom candle. I'm getting in on this thing. I got my new lawn furniture picked out. I'm getting in on this thing. 209, 210 pips. Now here's the second part to trend reversals. Because some of us might have the spirit of Gideon. Right, Kim? I mean, some people might just say, oh, well, just because there's a stop sign there doesn't mean price is going to keep going. So you got to prove it to them, right? In comes that second thing in this case. It could be a resistance line or it could be a supply box. So now I have a stop sign, a resistance line, and a supply box. That's three things right there that could collectively signal a trend reversal. The other thing that's not mentioned here, what is the other thing? Let me highlight it. Remember, we're just looking in here. What is the other thing that's not mentioned? And you can't assume it. You have to voice it. Because Kim mentioned, hey, a doji, and Greg mentioned it earlier, maybe exhaustion. Yeah, but the thing you want to say is, how about a lack of volume in the upper movement, which is also telling us what has slowed down or what has dissipated. So in this case, the momentum would be volume. So if I come down here and I see, versions as it means that volume is being taken away, now, Kim, at least at this point, I'm going to do what?
Trailing stop?
Is your name Kim?
No, sir.
So your brother Dimitri helped you.
Thank you.
So so Dimitri's right. I'm going to at least put a trailing stop here for the anticipation, just in case buyers do win the fist fight and price continues. I still am living off my equity that I have built that has earned me the right to continue. And the lack of discipline is no longer a factor because the trailing stop will take care of itself. Yes?
Yes, sir.
Now, let me tell you what some of you jokers do. Now, my Kim, what happens to some folks in here?
Yeah. The okey doke.
Well, what starts to factor in here. The greedy monster shows up.
Oh, yeah.
And the greedy monster will stop all rational thought. And I want y'all to write that down. Greed will stop all rational thought. Y'all should put that in your notes. And matter of fact, or put it on a sticky and put it on your computer screen. Greed will stop all rational thought. And let me tell you something else about discipline as well. Wanting to be right will stop all rational thought too. That's a different conversation.
Amen.
I've had some stupid moments in my life. I will continue to have stupid moments in my life, but I will tell you this. There is nothing that makes me stupid about this game other than when people do stupid things. Then my decorum is turned off and I just start blasted because at this point, let's not take, ladies and gentlemen, let's not talk about where the current zone is, because we have been talking about this pair all week. So we know yesterday's high was way up here at one point, yes?
Yes, it was.
So we know that yesterday's high is here. So if we are out of our minds and not thinking about a trailer stop, not, well, I don't want to lose no money, which is fucking stupid. Kim, that's stupid, right? Or I don't want to lose no money. Fuck that trailer stop. I don't want to lose no money. So I think prices gonna keep going. So I ain't gonna get taken out of the trade. All right, I hear you. And y'all, and let me tell you what happened. They want to do a trailer stop because they don't want to lose any money. And then this joker shows up, flat top, muscular, fine as hell. He just showed up. And well, no, it's gonna turn around. I know it's gonna turn around. And then you sweating bullets, and then your friends show up. All right. But then buyers take over and they come all the way down here and not breaking the 50, in the 50, you still in the blue now. You're still in the blue because you got in the trade down here. Well, it ain't dropped past 50 yet. It ain't dropped past 50. You can turn around. And then this thing just dropped fast. So now all your money's gone. And then Kim's phone start ringing. Yeah, can I talk to you for a minute? I don't understand why. Hey, come on, man. This second a doji told you it's time for a trailer stop. Because the trailer stop is your friend. Or you be like Dr. Kathy, don't worry about the trailer stop. If I do, I'm just going to do 5 pips and I'm going to get out. I want to keep all my money or just get out of the trade. Just get out of the trade. I can't tell you over the years how many times that Kim and I both have counseled people on dumbass moves like this. Your biggest losses, Kim, you tell me if this is a true statement. Your biggest losses, Richard, tell me if this is the truth. Your biggest losses, Kim from Ohio, tell me if this is true. Your biggest losses are usually self-inflicted.
That's for sure.
There's nothing you could do with a bank move or news. There's nothing you could do about it. Largest loss I've ever done in one day was over $80,000. I forgot I was in the trade. I was yelling at my ex-wife, and I was mad for about 5 minutes. Got over it and got back in the game. 2 days later, I got it back. I got it back. But we need to be able to recognize trend reversals when they happen. And sometimes for some people mentally have to see more than one characteristic. So in this case, I have the stop sign, I have the weak resistance, and I have the supply box. That should be enough for you to at least put in your trailer stop. Amen?
Yes, sir.
But let's just say you fall and hit your head and you don't see nothing. I mean, that's still not enough for you. This next candle being a flat top should be enough. If that don't get you, this price rejection area, although it's small and not a lot of money, that should be a level of structure. If price went past there, it should be telling you to get out. All right, give me another characteristic of maybe a trend reversal.
Flat line.
And Kim, flat lines signal what?
Consolidation.
Consolidation is a straight line. A straight line leads to what?
Changing direction.
And read that rule for me, Mom. Everybody listen to this shit.
The change of direction is not complete until it breaks an area or a line of significance. Yesterday's high, yesterday's low, the 50, significant points of support everything.
So if you see price rejected yesterday's high, If you see price reject at yesterday's low, if you see price reject at the 50, if you see price reject at the 50 on the 5th. So what do we know? There are certain things like the two dojis, the stop sign, consolidation, flat bottom candles or flat top candles, because those are significant lines of structure. And y'all, let me hip you to something too. So let's say I am in this trade, right? And I am looking at price moving through this area. So let's say I was smart, did set my trailer stop. Now I see this flat top candle coming down from structure. I decide to get in here. What I am doing once I decide to get in here, y'all listen to me. What I am doing here, the moment I click sell, what you think I'm looking for, Kim?
Flat bottom.
Huh? I'm looking for flat bottom and flat tops. Very good. You own it tonight. So right away, I'm going to come over here. Here's a flat top, right? I'm looking for flat bottoms. Here's a flat bottom. Here's another flat bottom. So why do you think I'm looking for those things?
You got 3 candles up from the one that you just
Yeah,
marked.
yeah, I'm not marking all of them, but I just want to give you an idea about why I'm looking for these things. Somebody tell me, why am I looking for these?
Significant lines of structure.
But I'm also looking for them for what? They're going to help me gauge what? Very nice. Very nice, Mr. Richard. Very nice. Very nice.
Sorry, what did he say?
He said entries.
Thank you.
So if I am coming through here and price clears this level of structure, Kim, I'm going to add another position. But there's one more reason why I'm doing it, Mr. Richard. I am doing it because of the fact that I am trying to gauge momentum. If price is continuing to break certain levels of structure on the upward or downward movement, and it is breaking through flat bottom and flat top candles like it ain't shit, then I am probably looking at price breaking here. And then if it breaks here, then now I am knowing that I have jumped on maybe a market trend. If on this downward movement, if I see this histogram increasing, if I go to the momentum and on the downward movement, not only did the momentum break that 100 on the downward movement, and it is straight down. Not only that, if the stochastic is not getting ready to overperform, being oversold, but if it's in the middle or in the sweet spot, if the RSI on the momentum is popping that 20 line down there, then I know I am on a wave of money making. If price comes here to this level right here, and let's say it starts to stall, it's just sitting there. The candle didn't change any size or anything. Nothing on this chart. Nothing changed. It's just sitting there. I'm going to go to the momentum and I'm going to look at what? And I'm going to look to see if it's doing what?
A straight line or change direction?
If it's straight, or in this case, want to see if it's flat. If I click on the momentum and it's flat, or like you said, I see a sharp rejection and I've taken this down to here, well, what am I doing at least? If price is just sitting here and I look on the momentum and see that the momentum itself is flat, what am I doing here at least?
A trailing stop?
I'll put my trailer stop. Because at that point, Dimitri, price may reject. I see a flat line on the momentum at that point. If it's flat, then I know that the momentum itself has slowed down, which means that the money in the downward movement has slowed down. Now, if price is here and haven't and then I know that there's a potential for price to. Now, let's say the next candle takes me through here. Then I'm not tripping because my trailer stop is in. I'm not tripping. But let's look at another scenario. So let's say the momentum is not straight, but it's not flat, but it's still pointing down, but prices got held up here. So how am I going to check this? What am I going to do?
I will go to the 15-minute.
Beautiful. And what am I looking for in the 15-minute?
See if you have any kind of structure there. Tell you what's going to happen in the future.
Well, okay. I'll give you half credit for that answer. I like the way you're thinking, but I want you to sharpen that thinking just a little bit. If I am in a cell and I go to the 15-minute and I see two bullish candles moving up this way, if your trailer stop is not activated, you need to activate it or get the hell out of the trade. Because what happens after that is not going to be good.
Okay.
When we check structure, when we check indicators, okay, you remember back in the day, you had a big muscle car? Richard, remember? Back in the day, you had a muscle car, and you were looking at gauges. Besides running out of gas, what were we looking at? I didn't want to what?
Well, one of the guys you would be the RPM.
Yeah, but the ones when I was riding some of my uncle's muscle cars,
Gas gauge.
yeah, well, yeah. Besides the gas, yeah. Besides the gas gauge, I didn't want that thing overheating.
Yeah, that's true.
So for us, when we're checking the 15-minute, if we're contemplating exiting, right? I don't want just because this says okay, but if price is stalling, there's a reason. So the first thing I want to do, I want to go to the momentum. I want to see what the momentum is doing. If I'm in a downward movement, I want to keep that. I want to keep it. So, but if I look 30 minutes later and price is still here, then there is something like you see your temperature gauge on your muscle car, right? And it's sort of a little past halfway. I go to the gas station. I don't see any smoke. I look down. I don't see any oil leaking. I don't see any of that. But something is going on, right? Maybe there's a gasket somewhere that there's a leak and I can't see it. When I became a pre-owned manager, one of the best tools I had was two things. Number one, it was the temperature to check the AC, just sticking it in the vent and see how cold it was getting. But the other tool, and maybe the most valuable, was a flashlight. I had this one guy, he was trading in, this was 2016. He was trading in a 2014. It was 2017. He was trading in a 2014 BMW 750. It was black. It was beautiful. And so I was putting the information in, or the salesperson put the information in, and what it would do, my boss, the pre-owned director, would look and see what other cars needed to be appraised if we were busy. And he saw that I was having this 750. He said, "How many miles on that car?" I told him I don't remember. He says, let's go take a look at this car. So he gets two tools. Number one, a paint meter. Anybody ever traded in a car and they see them putting this little gadget on your car, tapping it? That little gauge could tell us if that car has been painted. So he grabbed the paint meter, and he grabbed his flashlight. He walked around the car. He was touching it. He was looking at the tires. Tires looked good. He put the flashlight on the brakes. Brakes were good. They weren't great, but they were good. They would pass a pre-owned inspection. And then in the BMW, you could go in and, you could look at the iDrive, and that's that big screen in the center, and it got a little knob there. And then you could scroll through that. And what that in there, if you don't know, you could tell when the last maintenance was done. So he scrolled through there and saw that he was 5,000 miles overdue on his maintenance. He said, "Pop the hood." And he went in his flashlight. He said, "Point the flashlight right there. Tell me what you see." And he said, and I looked, and I said, "I'm assuming that's not water." He said, "Nope, that's oil." So the oil pump was going bad, like before our eyes. But this guy knew that the oil pump was going bad. That's why he missed his maintenance, and that's why he was trading in. Because, y'all, the car was clean. So I called my boy over at the BMW store next door, our sister store, and I said, "Hey, man, I got a 14 750 out here. It looks like the oil pump is going bad because he said it's leaking." I said, "Yeah." He said, "Yeah, that's a $3,500 job." I said, "Thank you." You check the indicators, y'all, so you don't spring any leaks, so you don't overheat, or you don't get stranded, or you don't get, bent over on a trade. And then the next thing you do, you call Kim or you call me to discuss why the trade went sideways. When all you have to do is to cover yourself. Listen, if you just had this one discipline, if you get the structure and you believe price might turn around, just put in your trailing stop. If there's an inkling, put in your trailing stop. The trailing stop. Y'all, do you realize if you use your trailer stop on every trade, you'll never lose a trade?
Yes, sir. You're right.
Spiller told us about that, and he almost got to a fist fight at an event at the ATL over that shit. Because a trader who's supposed to be really good called him out because he said, "Well, I don't see many losses on y'all's things." Doctors, I thought Houston and Atlanta was about to get down, but not everybody has that discipline. Y'all feel me on that?
Yeah.
But if you use that discipline every time, you'll never have a loss. But your psychology of money has got to be on point, and a lot of you don't. Y'all, a lot of we may have to, in the upcoming year, we may have to revisit a couple of books, Atomic Habits and the Psychology of Money. We may have to revisit that because some of y'all are still having the issue. All right, hope this lesson helped everybody out. Does anybody have any questions?
Yeah, quick question. When you talk about changing the trend with events like the Death Cross and the Golden Cross would impact the direction of the curve?
You know what? I will say, okay, that's a really great question. So let me go. Let me change charts. Right? Okay. I don't have an event here, but let's say this was a golden cross, right? And let's say price was coming down here. The only way I would mark the event because it is a price action event, right? So if this golden cross happened here, right? I would mark the event. I might change colors. I might make this horizontal line yellow or green or something to let me know that, hey, that was a golden cross there. I have to be aware because it is a major event. So the golden cross, if price is in an upper movement, the golden cross itself is not anything of a trend reversal, but the incident or the event, right? If I'm coming on a downward movement, I might have to pay attention to that area. You follow me?
Yes, sir.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay. Anyone else? Anyone else have any questions on the event in 2028? Anybody have any questions on that? Everybody understands the assignment.
Yes, sir. Looking forward to it. Got my plan together now.
Okay, so I will tell you, I would make this, if you're going to trade for that, I would put this in a separate account, ladies and gentlemen. So and Kim, you may not have to, and ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna start tracking that next year, January the 1st. So you got time to get your mind right. Okay, got time to get your mind right, and but I would put this in a separate account, and I wouldn't have the pressure of okay, I'm gonna do 90. I mean, if you're starting at a low number, then I would get that structure together, and I would so you need to get those numbers up. But y'all, if you believe in the savings account program, and if you believe in the rules, and if you believe in the skill, and if you believe in the strategy, 2 years is not a big deal. Y'all feel me on that? However, it will be a big deal if you keep trading like a knucklehead. Anybody see Pee-wee's Playhouse and saw a picture of Mr. Knucklehead? Anybody remember that character?
Yeah, you went way back then.
Don't trade like that dude, right? You don't want to look like him. You don't want to do nothing like Mr. Knucklehead. Nothing. So let's not trade like him either. All right? All right, y'all. We will be on at 3 a.m. Y'all have a good night. I'll see you in the morning.
Thank you, my brother. Good night, everyone.